Idiot.
Hardcore judgment in my mind, you know, like
I don't know. I would support them and just like gear them towards like adoption or
Teen
keeping a
mom
baby.
pregnant. What do you automatically assume about them?
A lot of people like might call a girl who's pregnant like a slut or whatever just because like they had sex or whatever. But like I don't know.
I think the person should have, like the individual has no right to judge them. You don't.
What do you think about teen pregnancy?
I think teen pregnancies are for sluts.
Of girls who get pregnant at a young age.
I find that it should be their choice. Like, for some of them, I know that they're not ready for that, and it's just a surprise in their life. But for that, I believe if they are in a committed relationship and they are mature, like, I'm happy for them if they do. But if like they're not ready for a child, and they bring a child into the world, what life is it gonna have?
It depends on the situation again. Like if they got like pregnant from like some guy that they met at a party and like they did
I'd be
something,
like, oh, you're stupid.
then like then I'd probably like be all like, ugh. But like
I would still support them.
yeah.
But if like something happened, they were in a relationship or something happened, and like they took all the precautions of safe sex and whatnot, but they end up getting pregnant. I'm not gonna lie, I'd be a little disappointed, but I'll support them. Like I wouldn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't just be all like, oh my gosh, you're pregnant. We're not friends anymore.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Okay, so I'm Iram and this is Dee. We're going to be talking about teen pregnancy because she is a teen mom. So what's your son's name?
My son's name is Liam.
How old is he?
He's 2. He turned 2 in August.
So you were 16 when you had him.
Yeah, I was 16.
So how was it like when you found out? Did you ever think that you didn't want to keep it?
That wasn't an option for me really because I felt like it was my fault. I wouldn't say I thought it was a mistake. I just felt like I wish I wasn't stupid and waited. And by that I mean waited until I was more responsible about it because like I did still use protection, but even then it didn't.
And go.
So when you were walking around school, did you feel like people like look at you different or like a negative vibe?
I definitely had like a phobia that everyone was looking at me and I was paranoid, but like I didn't really show until I was like 6 months along. So sweaters covered it, all the uniforms, and then people were like, oh, she's pregnant. I'm like, Mom, I'm just fat. I didn't want to tell anyone, like, even if it was obvious until I was ready. Like I keep denying it until I was like, alright, fine, I'm pregnant. And I really eat a lot of cookies. My mom was away, so she was, I don't know where she was, but she was doing something, getting her MBA, so I had to call her. And then she wasn't too happy about that, obviously, but she can't really, be a hypocrite because she was a young mom too, but she was 21, so there's a big difference. And then my dad obviously was mad because I'm like his little girl, and he's like, oh my god. And he already didn't like Kevin. Kevin is my boyfriend, by the way, at the time. And he's just like blamed him for the whole thing. It's not fair because I took my part in it, obviously.
Okay, so like when you went around to like the mall or whatever, how was it different?
I don't know. I just got a lot of stares. No one really said anything. They just kind of stared at me. People don't really say anything. It's the kids at high school that would say things. The show 16 and Pregnant, when it first came out, I used to watch it and make fun of the girls that were 16 and pregnant. And I was like, that's never going to happen to me. Then it happened, so karma worked in that way. So I was pretty frustrated with it. I was like, oh, that sucks. Well, I don't really know what to do, and I kept debating it. And then I just realized that like it's not fair to make him punished when start over. But in terms of diapers and all that stuff is really expensive.
Do you think the government helps at all or no?
They definitely help you a lot. I think that without my parents and the government, I'd probably be in a homeless shelter. I wouldn't say they're encouraging it at all. I say that the media is encouraging it. Shows like 16 and Pregnant and Teen Mom are glamorizing the show. That like these kids don't realize that that's 18 years of your life you have to have a kid, and they're gonna be a mini you. So how you are to your parents is probably how your kid's gonna be. So that, and then on top of the fact that they're getting paid to be on that show, which is why they can afford their own house and everything else, and everything's probably scripted and more over dramatic, so you'll tune in to watch the show. So that's why kids are like, oh yeah, I want a kid, they're cute.
Being pregnant and having Liam, how did it affect your studies?
Well, when I was in school, it was kind of hard to pay attention because he was kicking and I was so tired and nauseous and gross, but I still did
So
it.
do you ever think that if you didn't get pregnant, you would like be somewhere totally different with your life right now?
I think that I would be in a bad place in my life because growing up, my whole life I've been dealing with depression, and I feel like I'd probably party every day and get drunk every day and not go to school or college or do drugs or something. So I feel like I'm not necessarily that person to begin with, but like I feel like I'd be more inclined and able to do it, whereas now I have another person to look after, so I can't be irresponsible.
You disgust me.
So my cousin's girlfriend just looked at me like I was the biggest prostitute in school. She looked at me like 4 times.
So I heard you're a slut now.
It's really awkward, especially when we're walking across the street. You know, you can't really tell if they're looking at you, but you can like feel that they're looking at you.
Gosh, that lady over there with the red jacket, she looks too young to have a baby.
Felt really weird because I felt like everyone was like looking at me, and it was really hard to like make eye contact with people because I don't know, I felt like if I looked at them, they were gonna like be even more crazier than they actually were. So to be awkward, like feeling awkward going out, yeah, probably like really awkward. Because I know like what my family would do, and my family always, every time I see like a young teen like getting pregnant, they're just like, that girl's too young, like I feel so sorry for her, and they like take pity on the kid. It changed the fact like you never really know how hard it is until it actually happens, so you don't really know what people are gonna do. So you can't really like practice for it. I learned to not get pregnant. Use protection, be safe, you know. Yeah.